Hi, my name's Mark, one of the pastors at Trillium. How good are you at waiting? If you're like most people, you're probably not that good at it. I'm not good at it. It's whether it's waiting for the technician to show up to fix the broken appliance, or whether it's waiting for a package to arrive in the mail, or whether it's an important phone call is going to come through, some information, maybe a medical diagnosis, maybe a medical appointment. Waiting can be really tough. It's not an easy thing to do. And yet, it's something that we do all the time in life. When you think about all the lines you've stood in waiting, or all the waiting moments, probably for many of us, tens of thousands of moments where we've had to wait for something or someone. Learning how to wait well is so important in life. The Bible makes a big deal about waiting. It's a major theme, learning how to wait. There's lots of scripture passages on it. Waiting on the Lord. Many of the characteristics that are most valued as a disciple of Jesus come from waiting. Things like self-control, self-discipline, forbearance, patience, endurance. These are all qualities related to waiting. As a disciple of Jesus, waiting well is extremely important to us. A lot of stories in the Bible about waiting too. Think about the story of Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat. It's a story of waiting. From the moment that Joseph gets sold into slavery until the moment he reconciles with his family, it's a 24-year journey. Much of that time Joseph spent in jail. He's literally waiting. There's nothing else for him to do. How Joseph waits in that time is so critical to God unfolding God's way through him. There was something at work in Joseph's life that was bigger than himself. See, a lot of times when we're asked to wait in life, it's with the understanding that the moment's not about us. And we're so consumed with our own journey that we don't realize that there come times in life where we wait for a purpose greater than ourselves. These stories are all throughout the Bible about waiting for God to move. In the Last Supper, Jesus instructs the disciples in the Gospel of John that he's gone away. I'm going away. I'm going to be leaving you. And of course, that gets the disciples' attention quite a bit when they hear the news that Jesus is leaving them. And he says, I'm going to go on a journey that you can't follow me on. You can't come with me there. Someday you will be able to, but you can't now. So what I want you to do in the meantime is I want you to love one another. This is the new commandment I give to you, that you love one another as I have loved you. What Jesus is telling the disciples is that waiting is an important component of what it means to follow him. They're going to need to wait in between his leaving and his return. And so in the meantime, what he gives them to do, the task, is to love one another. No, Peter picks up on this, and he realizes that Jesus is leaving. He doesn't quite understand what he's talking about, but it sort of insults him to be told that he's not ready for something. What do you mean I'm not ready? Why can't I follow you now? I'll follow you even to death. Of course, Peter in that moment is not willing to wait. He's going to take the matters into his own hands. He's going to rush the moment. He's not interested in God's timing. He's interested in his own agenda. And of course, this is going to put him into a very untenable situation. See, because Jesus knows that he's not ready. He's not ready for the journey that Jesus is on. Someday he will be, but he's not ready yet. And Jesus tells him, well, you think you're going to follow me? You think you'll go with me to death? I tell you this, before the night's out, you'll have rejected me, denied me 3 times. Almost breaks Peter. Almost breaks the Jesus movement. Undermines God's plans, hinders God's work, almost kiboshes the whole point of it all. There's going to be times in life when you're going to be invited to wait. And the understanding is that there's a mighty work being prepared for you. It's just not in this moment. It's important when those waiting opportunities come to us that we don't fill it up with busyness, or we don't use it just to mark time. There's no power in marking time in life. There's power in waiting, but there's no power in marking time or getting ourselves busy. for the sake of busyness. And so the next time God places you into a place of waiting, I encourage you just to wait. Get your head up. Get your head out of the phone. Look around. Take a breath. Breathe. And remember the commandment that Jesus gave those disciples. Love. Love one another as I have loved you. That's how we're to spend our time while we wait, through the power and the practice of love. And I promise you that in that time of waiting, gifts will come to you. Amazing gifts of grace will come to you. And you'll be prepared for the moment when God will call you to move. And in that preparation, a mighty work will move through you. A work so powerful that it could change the world.